now going to look at how to merge data sets together. As an example, I've taken the Framingham data set and broken it up into a couple of dummy data sets. For instance, I have this data set called FHS Age 1. The only thing that's in this data set is the identifier from the Framingham data set and the age at baseline. I've done the same thing for Age 2 and constructed a data set that has the random ID from Framingham as well as the age at exam 2, and repeat it again for Age 3. What I ultimately want to end up with is one data set that has the following variables. I want it to have the random ID, the age at baseline, exam 2, and exam 3. In order to get a data set with this structure, I need to merge together the three data sets that I just looked at. And the way that we do this is we merge them based on the common variable, the identifier variable, which in this case is random ID. The command that you use to merge data sets in Stata is just called merge. I'm going to start with just the data set with age at baseline, so it has ID and age at baseline. To merge, I'm going to type db merge, and I get the window for the merge command. There's several different options for types of merges that you can do, but the most common merge is going to be a one-to-one merge on key variables. You're going to use a one-to-one merge when you have one ID variable and you just want to merge together data sets based on that ID. In the key variables box, this is where I list the variables that I'm going to match on. In this case, I'm just matching based on ID, rand ID. And then lastly, I select the data set that I want to merge with the data set that's currently read into Stata. I'm going to start with merging together. I have age 1 read in right now, and I'm going to merge it with the age 2 data set. Find the data set and hit OK. You can see that Stata ran this merge command, and it merged the data set that was currently read in with the FHS age 2 data set. It gives me this output down here, and it tells me that of the 1,000 observations in the Framingham data set, all 1,000 of them were matched, whereas 0 of them were not matched. When something was not matched, that would occur if one data set had an individual in it that wasn't in another data set. Let's look at an example of that. If I go into my data editor, you can now see I have random ID, age 1, age 2, as well as this merge indicator, and it tells me which of the variables were matched. So like I said, everybody was matched in this data set. If I were to go in and just add a new observation, say with ID -4 and missing data for age 1 and age 2, I now have this new observation in my data set that's not going to be in the age 3 Framingham data set that I'm about to merge with. So let's see what happens. So as noted before, I'm almost there. I've already got my ID, age 1, age 2. The only thing I need to add now is age 3. All I'm going to do is use the merge command again. So I run db merge and get the window. I'm again going to merge on random ID, but now I want to merge with the age 3 data set. I've done this to show you that you will get an error message if you're merging multiple data sets, and it's going to give you the error message merge already defined. If you see that error message, it's because you've tried to do a merge, but Stata has already defined that _merge variable from the previous merge that you did. So you need to make sure you drop this variable, this indicator saying whether matching occurred or didn't occur. You have to drop that before you do your next merge, or rename it. So if I run drop merge, I now see that there's no longer a merge indicator in my data set, and I can go ahead and successfully do that merge. So I'm going to rerun the merge command that previously gave me an error, and now I see that running the merge with the age 3 data set, I didn't get an error message. So if I open up the data set, you now see that I have exactly what I wanted. I have an ID variable, age 1, age 2, and age 3. Now the output of the merge looks a little bit different this go around. We see that there was one observation that was not matched. And Stata tells me that it was from the master data set. It was from the data set that was already read in rather than the data set that I merged with the one that was read in. So there was one person in that data set that was not matched, whereas there was 1,000 that were matched. All that's showing you is, if I go in here and look, remember I just added in an observation with random ID -4. That wasn't in the data set that contained age 3, so Stata tells me, hey, that was only in the master data set, and I couldn't find a match for that guy in the matching data set. So that's the basics of conducting a merge in Stata. You're always going to want to look at your merge indicator to see who was matched and who wasn't matched. And also always remember that you're going to get an error message when you're merging multiple data sets unless you drop that merge indicator.